And I just want you to know that MTH Transit University is excited to offer you the third installation of leading virtual meetings. And I'm particularly anxious to sit through this with you. Now, my name is Yvelle, and I lead a team, a great team in Transit's HR division. It's dedicated to supporting you, enhancing your skills and career. Now, so with the switch to both remote and virtual team management, we heard that you needed tools to guide, direct, and support your team. So we're here for you. I have no doubt that this next half hour will help. So make sure you get prepared. Sometimes you're going to be photographing slides that are speaking to you. You're going to be taking notes and outlining main points. So I'm just going to pass this over to Sharice. You're in good hands. Thank you, Sharice.
Thank you, Yvelle. I'm going to ask that my team members introduce themselves. Yvelle introduce herself. So I'm going to ask Yvelle to put herself on mute. We're getting some feedback. And I'm going to ask for the other team members to introduce themselves.
Let me start. Hi, good morning. My name is Marites Macapagal, and I'm here to support Sharice's class as we looking at the Q&A segment of this class. So thank you once again. Enjoy your class.
I'm going to ask Richard and Raphael to do the same. Just introduce yourselves quickly, and then I'm going to ask you to go back on mute because something's happening with the sound when all of us have our mics open.
Good morning, I'm Rafael Tirado. Very happy to be here supporting you and the entire team. And I'm going to be doing tech support today.
And this is Rich Roth. For the most part, just keeping an eye on everybody, and everybody's keeping an eye on me.
I'm Sharice Myers, and we're going to get started. We've got 30 minutes to go through part 3. Some of you have been with us for all 3 sessions. I want to give a huge thank you to you for joining us for part 3. Part 1 was back on July 15th, and we covered seeking team input. Part 2 was last week, Wednesday, and we covered clarifying team decisions and deliverables. Part 3, which is today, is all about recognizing team accomplishments to raise the team's equity. Are you ready? Here's what we're going to be working on for the next 30 minutes. How can you provide your team with opportunities for recognition, team and or the project? How can you use data to report on the progress of the project and the team? Both really important. So I like to start all of our sessions by engaging you. Marites is going to be taking your responses to the following question. I want to know, does your agency have a formal recognition program, one or several? Does your part of the agency have formal recognition programs that you're aware of? Please, in the Q&A, just tell us yes or no. Marites, as the answers start to come in.
So far, yes, there are people. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, there are a few people saying yes. A lot of people saying yes. We have one of them, I could call out the name. Mindy said yes. Saprat, Nicholas says no. Anthony says no. Danielle says yes. Well, we have a lot of yes here. We have Theodore says no. I have yes. I don't know. There are people who is not sure. Therese. So Bruce says yes. Hey, Bruce, thank you. Donna Williams says yes. Wesley, you said yes. Celeste said yes. Wow, you have a lot of yes. And you can hear, we could give you a telephone number to call in to, if you wanted to hear. I'll put it in the room. So yes, Sharice, let me pass the mic to you. A lot of them said yes.
Thank you. We have now a second question. And the question is, do you think that it's important for our organization to recognize good or great work? right? So many of you said yes, that you do have these recognition programs. And some people are saying, of course, it's important. Yes, it's important. Or absolutely. Of course, it's a given. Absolutely. Great. So then we're in a good session here, right? The organization has formal programs. We are agreeing that we think that it's important to recognize it. And yes, I agree. So this is a poll that was taken by Glassdoor, and I want to share this information with you because yes, you're right. It is important for us to recognize it. And here's some of the top takeaways from that poll from Glassdoor. In case you don't know what Glassdoor is, it's where people apply for different positions, and many people put all sorts of reviews there. So this is like a concrete place for us to get information from about recognition and about recruitment and about actually keeping our people at the organization, right? So that's what we call retention. So Glassdoor, the survey says this: we need to understand what employees appreciate and what they don't really. And by that, I mean, oftentimes in our programs, we have a tendency to give people what we want instead of what the person wants. And so different people have different ways that they want to be acknowledged or recognized. Do you agree? There are some people who want the big, giant, formal program, but there are other people who just want to thank you. The key for us as leaders is to tap into what the person or how the person is really looking to be recognized. And that takes some level of mindfulness and some observation, right? It takes for us to communicate and actually get to know the employee as to what is actually going to inspire that person. So number 2, be aware of when, who, and how much appreciation is shown. Also, encourage employees to share what motivates them. They say on Glassdoor, but I say in general, right? Let's just tap into knowing what motivates people. And promote your company's employee appreciation strengths. They say via Glassdoor, and I'm saying just in general, because some people say no, that their part of the organization doesn't have formal recognition programs. But there's been some research done, and basically all of the agencies have some type of formal recognition program. So let's look at how we could show appreciation and confirm that appreciation does matter to staff everywhere, right? Not just MTA. So here's what employees say that they value to be appreciated. Pay raises, obvious, right? Raise your hand if you'd be okay with a pay raise. My hand is raised. What about you? Everybody would, right? Also, unexpected treats and rewards. But let's look at how high that is. It's almost 50% of people who took this particular survey would appreciate that. Be involved in making decisions, 40%. Career development opportunities, 37%. Company-wide recognition, that's like the formal programs that we're mentioning. Opportunities to do interesting work, variety in their work, telecommuting options, company-sponsored social events, and working with other colleagues and departments. So that's really like cross-training opportunities, right? Let's say if you're in an administrative job and then you have an opportunity to learn an operations job or vice versa. So now I'm going to do a little poll, and I just want you to put your response in the Q&A. So you have these 10 items that are listed here. I'm a little tricky. I'm going to take the first one out. So you cannot choose pay raises, but you have 9 other options there. Which one of these 9 options, and I just want you to put it in the Q&A, would make you feel appreciated, would assure that you know that you matter? I'm going to give you like 60 seconds to place your response in the Q&A. I see Karen says making decisions.
Yeah, so now said involved in making decision, and a lot of them are saying involved in making decisions. It was running too fast. Decision making is good. Telecommuting, career development, career development opportunities. A lot of them are saying that too, Cherise. It's moving too fast. Unexpected treats and rewards. They like that too. And a lot of them are saying career development, Cherise. Career development is what they want. The telecommute is another one that they have. But a lot of them are saying career development. Treats and rewards is also making decisions. It's one of the popular answer also. Career development, getting acknowledged by senior management.
Mm.
Yes, they wanted career development and telecommuting matters right now. A lot of them are saying that. Career development and telecommuting.
Julie, I saw that pay raises was not one of the options you could choose from. So it looks like our top runners are career development, decision making, and opportunities to do interesting work. Did I get that right, Maritas?
Yes, yes, Cherise.
So career development, obviously you're participating in a session right now and you're doing it on company time. So again, that's an option that is available to you. And we'll talk to you more about those options as this session goes on. I want to define for you what recognition is, right? So recognition is an opportunity for us to give positive feedback based on results, performance, and the key to this is that it needs to be meaningful, timely, and genuine. We have some examples that we just covered, but I want to assure that we point out that recognition could be formal and it could also be informal. Formal examples are some of the things that our company may offer: an awards program, a promotion, a bonus or some sort of a raise, maybe for a project well done. A memo inside an employee's file is key because now when the employee goes to move on, maybe for a promotion, there's the memo. It will pop back up, right? These are ideal ways that you can award people or formally recognize them. There's also informal examples, a verbal thank you. And in this virtual world, right, a verbal thank you can go really far. Also, you can do a handwritten note or card. And imagine this, use snail mail, right? Just go ahead and send it in the US Postal Service, some of our brothers and sisters in government, and have that sent to the person. That serves as what was listed in the Glassdoor as like a surprise thank you, right? It's something that they're not expecting, and it could make someone's day. So the key when we're talking about recognition, since recognition is attached to performance, is what we spoke about in session 2, was that we have to clarify what success looks like, right? How do you assure that the people who are working on the project or the people who are working on your team know crystal clear what your expectations are? When you flip that and you look at it from the perspective of that we're their partners in this thing and getting the work done, right? Nobody comes here to do a bad job. Everybody comes here to do a good job. Let's talk about how we can connect to being the partners to our staff members. And I just want to know, has anybody heard of this Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Because when we talk about recognition, it's attached to, as humans, we all have basic needs. Have you heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? And I'm going to just go ahead and put the model up now. And then we're going to talk about how could an employer be a partner in something like this, right? This looks like something that's a singular journey, an individual journey. And let me be clear. Yes, you as the employee, you got to do the work, right? You got to do the work in your personal life, and you've got to do the work to be a contributor to the project. Part of it is clarifying what success is, but these steps in Maslow, I want to say that us as employers, we can be partners to people in this journey. So let's look at it, right? Basic human needs, Maslow says that it starts with physiological needs. That's our need for food and water and breathing and sleep. And how can we partner with our individual employees? Well, we make up schedules. So we can assure, and actually FTA has us assuring, right, that there's but so many hours that a human can work. As far as breathing, we are making the decisions on filtration systems and venting systems, and we can assure that we have the best things in place. So an employer can definitely support and partner with employees on the journey for working your way up Maslow's hierarchy or meeting these basic needs. As we go up this chart, safety, that's an obvious one, right? In this era of a pandemic, we see how important the safety element is. But the safety element is also attached to a person's salary, right? That is how a person feels financially safe. So as the person who's making the decisions, we can assure that people are getting paid fairly. Let's just say that, right? So we can partner with people on this journey. Love and belonging. As an organization, we can put in place elements to build teams. Esteem, then here's right there, right, where recognition comes into place. And we can assure in these formal programs that we are actually entering people into the programs, right? Acknowledging them for the good work. So yes, informal acknowledgement is amazing, but also when we have opportunities in these formal programs, I want us as the leaders to assure that we're doing the work to actually recommend people to be acknowledged in these programs. Please, I've heard too many times from the people who run the programs that people didn't nominate people. And then lastly, for self-actualization, how in the world could an employer participate in that? Well, how the employer can participate in that is that I'm saying, especially right now, the transformation team is in place, and if there are opportunities for people to make moves, right? How can we assure that we have the right person at the right time, doing the right work in the right part of the organization? I know that you've heard this saying before, right? If you do work that you love, you never work a day in your life. So how can we assure that we have people in place? Here's what I'll say to that, right? I love this quote. Everyone shines given the right lighting. If we have people in place doing the right work, there are opportunities for everybody to contribute to the organization in excellence. So how does recognition now attach to, or let's just say go further than recognition, right? I want us to consider shifting recognition to also include appreciation. And I'm going to go further with this by sharing a story with you. When we shift recognition to also include appreciation, then there is room for collaboration. I'm going to say that I want to recognize, right? I hope she's on this session, Dominique Johnson and her mentor, Yuk Chan. I met them both about 5 years ago. And in this collaboration, it was a huge collaboration. I had an opportunity to collaborate with Department of Education. I had an opportunity to be supported by my VP, Patricia Lodge, so that's HR Vice President at NYCT, and develop a STEM program where we had opportunities to bring young women into the organization who were majoring in STEM majors. Dominique Johnson is now actually no longer in high school. She's getting her master's degree from Columbia University. She graduated as the valedictorian, and now we have an opportunity to hire her right here at NYCT. Yuk Chan has been mentoring her over an MTA bus and providing her with all sorts of information. So that taps into how this story goes into creativity and including in the creativity, technology, and data. Dominique came to the organization already certified in CAD. And if you know what CAD is, it's where they make out designs for building things, right? And what we did with that information by pairing her with Yuk Chan is provided her with an opportunity. She came in with the information and with the technology, and now Yuk Chan provided her with opportunities to get the experience. We were really clear on the focus and the role of that Dominique was going to play in the organization. When we partnered with the departments and the divisions across the organization, what the requirement was that they had to come to us with a project. So sometimes people kind of think, interns are going to join the organization. They're going to do a couple of copies. They're going to write a couple of documents for you. But this was managers' opportunities to actually get their dream project done by someone who had the skills, but just didn't have the experience. And boy, did Yuk Chan take advantage of that. They built a relationship, and now Dominique can say that she has 5 years experience, so she benefits. And right at a time when next year in 2021, she's going to graduate from Columbia with her master's degree. Please, in the Q&A, say happy 5-year anniversary to Dominique. Just give her some claps, some congratulations. And we hope that when she graduates, she'll be one of our newest MTA family members. The key to this, right, to shifting beyond just recognition to also include appreciation is, you saw this definition already, right? Recognition is positive feedback based on results and performance. Needs to be meaningful, timely, and genuine. When we go one step further and we also include appreciation, appreciation is also positive feedback, but now it's based on the person, not just the task. It's also based on their value-added attributes. And in this case, appreciation also needs to be meaningful, timely, and genuine. The key to including appreciation when we are considering this combination of recognition and appreciation is that everybody has something that you can appreciate. So it provides you with opportunities to give some feedback that's positive to your high-performing staff and to your underperforming staff. Everybody, you can find something that you appreciate. Why is it important? So beyond just Maslow's hierarchy, which we mentioned and we tapped into before, that is just a basic human need for people to feel belong a part of a team. Here is some additional feedback from Glassdoor, and it talks about the power of employee appreciation. Greater employee appreciation equates to better employee retention. It's pretty difficult for us to retain new employees or bring in new employees like Dominique, who's head of her class, who's going to Columbia University, without us including this component of providing feedback. And appreciation provides us with opportunities to do that. So here's what the poll says from Glassdoor. 68% of employees feel the boss shows them enough appreciation. So I'm going to ask you that question. And Marie says I'm going to ask you to not call any names this time, please. But in the Q&A, tell us if you feel, based on you, just as a person, beyond just your work, do you see that your boss shows you appreciation? Tell us in the Q&A. That's a simple yes or no. I'll wait for Maritez to start.
I have 2
gathering
voices
up.
saying, a lot of them are saying yes, absolutely.
Good.
I have only 1 no. Most of them are yes. And
Good.
some of them will say absolutely, Sharice.
Good. This is good.
Yes, it's a nice answer. Yes, a lot of them. Everything that's coming in are all yes.
Good. This is good. So then I'm going to say, to take it one step further, right? If you're getting validated, then I'm going to ask you, and no response to this. This is just one for you to reflect on, right? Are you validating others, right? Are you doing both recognition and appreciation? What this all sums up to be is we are looking to have summit outcomes. You know, I utilize this slide as like a summary, right? So the summit outcomes is our opportunity to shift to include appreciation with recognition. Shift not just from what they do, but also to include who they are. That takes, again, some observation and some mindfulness, and include who they are. How can we do this? On an executive level, we can start to appreciate people, what we call on-the-spot appreciation or on-the-spot recognition. So if there's a project going on, or if you're in the field, or if you're on a particular virtual meeting and you see that someone is doing something in excellence, please tell them. That's your opportunity. Also, I don't want to have you think that it's only an executive's feedback that's valid. At any level, if you're a person's colleague, if you're a person who actually reports into a person, you're their subordinate, you have opportunities to also give peer recognition. And peer recognition is equally important. If you're working with someone on a project, find ways that are creative for you to recognize and appreciate them. And again, remember the difference between recognition. One is based on performance. The other is just based on who the person is and how they are valuable to you. Let's start to use data as a tool for transparency and for recognition. So as you're moving forward on the project, right, let's start to, since we're utilizing this virtual world, let's assure that we have dashboards in place. And the dashboard then gives transparency to what updates are coming up. She's left us now, but Sally did a really good job of that with some of the subways projects, of kind of putting it out there in the world so that everyone knows that your team is the go-to for this particular skill. That's really important. Sometimes we're trudging along, we're working really hard. And we're completing deliverables, but nobody knows about it. To keep your team on the roadmap for success, to keep your teams on the minds of and budgeted minds of people throughout the organization, it's important that as you meet your deliverables, that you find methods utilizing data to be transparent about how you and your team are making or meeting the mark. Make it public. Also, you said that this was important. You want to find opportunities to develop your staff and prep them to be who? You. Or for you to be your boss, right? So there are opportunities to recognize and appreciate people by having them sit in meetings for you, by having them work collaboratively with you on a particular report that's a report that the next level would do. Please take opportunities to develop people. Beyond mentoring, also you can sponsor them. Sponsorship is all about putting a person in the room when this is not necessarily a meeting or a level of staff that they would be engaging and interacting with, right? You have so many opportunities and different ways to be acknowledged and recognized. What this is all about when we talk about accomplishing summit outcomes is us getting to the place where we shift this culture so that every person who I ask if they feel valued, if they feel appreciated, if they feel recognized, will place in the Q&A a solid yes. The people who report to you, the people who you report to, all levels of staff. You just work differently when you are in a situation where you're valued. It's important. So what's our actions? How do we get there? How do we do that? I don't care that it's the last session. You still have homework. The homework is a consistent piece because you have opportunities now that you went through any of the 3 parts of this particular series to reach out to me. My email is always included. You'll get it when this session is over, and I send you a thank you note, and I'll be expecting you to send how this session was for you, along with any questions that you may have with how you can get this homework done. So what's the homework? Add an agenda item to discuss with your team these 3 things. Here's the question. What did we do well during the last 30 days? Who knows that our team is the go-to for this? Those 2 questions, I want to say that our team, HR, training, development, and educational resources have become the team, the go-to team to help you with any of your virtual needs. So you want to assure that your team becomes the go-to team for whatever it is that you do as well. We also want you to add to the agenda as an item one person who you appreciate and why. You could do this in a couple of ways, right? You could either have it as an open session, and sometimes people, they don't necessarily want to say. So you could also have it anonymous, right? Have them actually just send it in and you have all of the responses, but then you share the responses in this virtual meeting without actually stating the name, right? So you have all the responses and you share them all, and it gets to be an anonymous. But that person or those persons who their colleagues are appreciating for how they contribute to the team actually get to know it. So can you do that? Also, I want to remind you of what we covered in session 2, and you still have homework from session 2. The session 2 homework was all about adding a daily 15-minute slot that you can use as a feedback session. In those feedback sessions, you have an opportunity to have appointments with different people who report into you, or maybe the next level down, so that you can provide them with feedback and so that you can hear from them about what progress is going on the project. And last but certainly not least, I want to remind you of the homework from session 1. That doesn't go away either. And that is to attend meetings with your camera on and to introduce yourself when you speak. I'm actually 3 minutes over, so that provides me an opportunity to say thank you for joining this session, and then open the floor up to my colleagues to see if they have anything else that they'd like to add to this session.
So thank you, Cherise, for pouring into that workshop that will assist all of us. Again, just letting you know that our transit training, development, and educational resources team created Transit University to assist you, over 160 courses. And we meet daily just to answer your direct request and to come up with strategies on how to serve you. So once we understand your goals, we can put together workshops that are 15 minutes, 30 minutes. We call them micro starts. Learning modules that may be 90 minutes. We call them learning capsules. We really come up with a strategy to be able to help you also with learning experiences, projects, and cross-functional teams to help you meet your needs. So in addition to the workshop, to reinforce learning, we can come together and come up with a plan for your team to use this learning. So I look forward, honestly, to hearing from you, and so does the rest of the team, because we have made it a mission to assist you. I want to just thank the team. Thank you, team, so very much. I want to thank my VP, Patricia Lodge, for just her support and allowing us to be creative and innovative to bring you virtually new experiences for learning. So thank you.
Okay. So I am going to ask everyone to mute again because I'm getting some feedback, and this provides me with an opportunity to stop the recording and look forward to getting your emails and your comments as to how session 3 was for you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.